Well, today,
What?
we're going to talk about encounters with danger.
Ooh.
This is the Unexpected Podcast.
Yo, Lilo.
What up, girlfriend?
What's up, yo?
What up?
How are you guys doing out there? I hope you're doing well.
They said they were doing great.
Did you hear
them? I heard them.
Speak a little louder, baby. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. I can't hear you. Well, you know, it has been a very, it's been the Mondayest of Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of times we record our podcast over the weekend before the date we release it. We're doing this on a Monday night, though. We didn't record an episode this weekend, and it has been a Monday.
Monday.
And, you know, all days are good, right? Because it's the day the Lord has made, and it hasn't been a bad day.
We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Day. That's right. So get glad.
Get glad, Lord.
Scratch your mad spot and get glad.
Wow, you're in rare form. That was unexpected.
Very rare form. Well, I was thinking about,
Excuse me.
you know, you and I both have kind of some crazy stories about encounters with danger.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's man-made danger or accidental danger. But one of the reasons I like this kind of topic is I also like to couple it with the fact that we've also seen divine intervention in a lot of situations.
Oh, yeah.
And I love what Psalm 91 has to say, all of it, but the first verse starts out, you know, saying that he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And then it goes on to talk about a lot of promises and declarations about divine intervention. You know, it says 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. No plague shall come near your dwelling. And so there are these scriptural promises that, you know, that we can pray in faith. It doesn't mean that we're going to avert all danger, but we do know that we've seen God's hand in divine protection before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen my share with friends and other people.
Right.
Just, I mean, there were times when, car accidents and just divine intervention. And that's crazy. I've seen a lot of God just jumping down into a situation and making it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love hearing those stories. And then, you know, there's certain ones that through the years will stick with you. And sometimes I think that's no accident that certain stories stick with you. Maybe they were just very profound, or maybe it's something that you need to be reminded of in the future. And I don't remember who it was, but I think it's someone that we know or have known or maybe went to church with who said that as a child, they fell over a balcony.
Yes.
And they said it was as though right before they hit the ground, there was just almost like they stopped and they just gently were laid down upon the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and God does intervene in that way. And, you know, that's encouraging to me to know that, you know, we got somebody looking out for us. And I can remember one time, because sometimes you'll have those situations where it seems like it was something that you did, but you know it wasn't in your own strength.
Right.
That kept you from an accident. So one time I remember we were going around Chattanooga, headed towards Nashville, you know, going around I-24, and, or maybe we were coming the other way, and I happened to be driving, and the whole family was in the van. It's back when we had that old red van. Remember?
Yes. The Mercer van.
The Mercer van. Go for a ride in the Mercer van. There was some kind of near collision that involved a motorcycle, and it could have been really, really bad. And I remember, like, somehow I did this most amazing maneuver and kept us safe, kept the person on the motorcycle safe. But then I realized, like, that wasn't me.
That's not my ability.
That was the hand of God, you know, assisting me. I wish I could say I was always like, you know, NASCAR style driver, but or skilled at that level.
Right.
But I'm not. But it was just amazing. So, yeah, we've had some interesting encounters, but we've also seen God's hand.
Yeah, we have a friend that his wife says that he keeps the angels, his guardian angels, very busy.
Yeah.
Because there was one time.
There, sucker.
Excuse me. There was one time where he was riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike or something, and there was a barbed wire that was stretched across, and it hit him in the neck and broke.
Right. Whereas it could have just sliced right through him.
I mean, cut his head off. I mean, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
They said that it just broke, and it was divine intervention.
Amen. And that was his wife, and she would joke often, like she would say, every morning before he goes off to work. This wasn't a joke. She said she would actually pray over him and pray protection over him. But then, her joke was always that he kept the angels working overtime.
Oh yeah,
because I don't know if he was accident prone or he was just maybe not.
He did dangerous things carefully.
Okay,
let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
He did dangerous things carefully, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, can't be living in a bubble all your life.
Absolutely. So there's an example of the importance of praying protection over the ones you love.
Absolutely, and I think that, I think throughout my life, there was this one time that I fell out of a barn loft, and it was like, and I hit a pile of wood and I was okay. It's like nothing, nothing happened. And it was a good fall. It was when I was really young. And, but man, it was interesting. Afterwards I thought, am I Superman? Cause I was a kid. So you think, I got superpowers, and of course, young men think they're invincible.
Right.
And as you get older, you realize you're not. And
well,
you realize you have to slow down.
That's true. And it's interesting because one of our sons used to climb a tree, not with my approval.
Oh, he just talked about that today, actually.
He would climb a pine tree that had a lot of opportunities
about 70 feet high.
Well, I don't even want to think about it. But I think at that age he thought he was invincible, and praise God, there weren't any incidents.
He used peer pressure to get his friends to climb it with him sometimes. He said, you can see the movie theater from up there.
Okay. I'm sure it's an amazing view. But now that he's gotten older, he realizes.
He did realize that today.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't believe y'all let me do that. And I was like,
I didn't.
Well,
okay. Well, praise the Lord.
Dangerous things carefully.
Yeah.
Young men need to be adventurous.
Right. And there's a reason. I mean, there's a balance there,
Absolutely.
You don't want to put someone in danger that could be, but because safety is important.
Safety third.
Safety third. I knew that joke was coming.
Yep. First and second.
I knew it. I was thinking today for some reason about a time when I was probably 19 or so. And there was a maximum security prison in Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
And these hardcore inmates had escaped.
Oh, wow.
And so, this was on the radio, and because it wasn't on Facebook or social media, because we didn't have such things. It wasn't on the internet. But we knew from radio, television, everyone knew that there were these guys on the loose. Right. Okay. So I, had a boyfriend at the time, and we were just at a park in my hometown.
You mean I wasn't your first boyfriend?
I'm sorry. You were close, though.
Okay,
you were close.
Good.
We're just out at a park, and this guy walks by us, and he looked a little scary, a little bit. And we noticed he had a particular tattoo. I think, if I remember correctly, it was, on one of his specific arms, and I think it was an alligator, something very specific.
Oh.
Okay, so then, we go on. Well, later we hear that's the description of one of the escapees.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty sure he was an escapee. And I think they apprehended him later, but we walked right by him.
That's an ominous tattoo.
Yeah. And then we found out, oh, well, it's a good thing we saw him in broad daylight and we didn't have anything he needed.
And who would have thought you would end up being a prison librarian?
Who would have thought that?
Not now, but she was.
Right. Yeah, working with medium security inmates, which are just as hardcore.
So there was one guy that you talked about. His name was Phonophone.
We probably shouldn't say it online. He might find us.
Oh, okay.
That was his first name.
Oh.
He had a very catchy name, let's just say.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where he is today. I wouldn't want word to get out that,
we're talking about him online. Ooh, that wouldn't be good at all.
Right.
Hey, dangerous things carefully.
That's right. That's right.
Hey.
So we
got
his
a security
name.
system.
Yeah, but what were you going to say about him? Yeah.
Well, I just thought it was cool that that his name was cool.
Yeah, and
but you did something that was quite dangerous.
Well, it really was. And what was interesting was this medium security prison, which, for people who don't understand the prison system, medium versus maximum just means maximum security inmates are more hardcore as prisoners. It doesn't mean that they did anything worse than the medium security guys. Medium security guys could be, murderers, rapists, etc. But maybe they're just on a little bit better behavior in the prison system. That's at least was my understanding of it at the time. Well, they are. They're all playing the system. I learned that. But what was interesting is the prison that I worked at was only a few years old. I mean, it had been around for several years.
Yeah.
And I came out of my office one day and found like a metal rod that may have come out of a filing cabinet.
You mean a shank?
A shank. That's right. And they had sharpened it into like a point to a dagger. And I found it. And that was actually the first weapon, first shank ever found.
Well, congratulations.
I know. I found the shank. And it was probably one of my inmate workers that I'd hired.
Did the warden look at you and go, "Shank you"? Shank you, Amy, very much.
Very good. She didn't say that. But you know what? We also, at our prison, had the first ever female deputy warden in the state. And she was a tough lady.
Yeah.
And you know what she called me?
What?
Bones.
Bones.
Because I was so skinny back then.
Yeah.
I mean, this skinny little person.
So you're Bones.
With these, all these hardcore inmates. And she come down to the library and to our area. And there was a school there and vocational school, gen ed.
And everybody in prison wants to be a lawyer, right?
Oh, wants to be. They are.
They are.
Self-proclaimed.
All right.
Self-proclaimed.
So they can take care of their own case. They do their own law. Y'all have it had a full law library, right?
Yeah, it did. And getting back to the deputy warden, she'd come down and say, "Hey, Bones, how things going down here?" And then, of course, I would report to her. But, yes, so through legislation, the inmates had won the right to have a full law library. So, I mean, they had nice, expensive law books like you would see in a law firm. But needless to say, you could go to a volume on the shelf and there were pages missing. They just cut out with a razor or whatever, however they could. They'd cut out what they wanted and take it. I mean, how could we prevent all that?
Right.
We tried, but it was a dangerous place. In fact, there was a situation where I felt pretty threatened by an inmate, and I actually put in a request to have him moved, and they did finally.
Wasn't there an escape attempt?
Okay. There was. And so here's the thing. When you work at the state prison, right?
Yeah.
If you find people who are literate, I mean, because most of these guys, they really are people who grew up,
rough.
with rough situations. And so these two guys, they seemed nice. They were very articulate, very smart. So, of course, I hired them to work in the library.
Right.
And but that didn't last long because they made pipe bombs and tried to escape one weekend. So they got thrown into solitary
Dangerous
confinement.
things carefully. So most people don't know that about you, about being a prison librarian.
Yeah.
I mean, you were pretty hardcore.
I had to be because there were actually 4 people who went down. And by that, I mean...
They went down.
They were intimidated into doing something they shouldn't have done as a staff member. And then they had to get escorted out by like the FBI or whoever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. And so, I stuck it out as long as I could stand it.
Yeah.
And
that is not where she met me.
But the way I tell the story is that I moved to this particular county where we were living and where Lee is from, and got a job working as a prison librarian and met my husband there, which I didn't meet him in the prison. I met him outside of the prison.
Yes.
And we met in church.
At church.
Right. Which was a little less dangerous than the prison.
A lot less dangerous. Yes, very much so.
A lot.
So dangerous things carefully.
Okay, that's your phrase for the
It is.
week.
Well, I mean, I think that's really cool of you to. I mean, that's like makes me think of like a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a great TV, the prison librarian.
Yeah.
You know?
I had to be tough. And what was funny is that sometimes being naive and not knowing what you're doing can really work in your favor.
Yeah.
Because I went in and somebody pointed out to me, like, okay, those two guys there that are working in the library, they're running the gambling ring, and they take all the newspapers and take them for themselves, and they keep the sports sections, and so they can do all their gambling ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I think they should go then. So I fired them.
Dangerous things, carefully.
And then I had another deputy warden or someone come up to me, and we were going through security check one morning, and he's like, you can't just come in and do that. You can't just get rid of them. And I'm thinking, but I did, so I guess I can, because I didn't know what I was doing,
Right.
And the other thing was, I just started like moving things around. I mean, they had one room reserved for the inmate newspaper, and I'm like, no, that's going to be my office. And I started just moving things around, shaking things up, because I guess I was young enough and naive enough to just go in and do it, and I did it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, to make matters more interesting, just as a kind of professional development thing, I went and visited another prison library, just to kind of see how they were doing things. And that lady had been attacked in her home by an inmate's family member.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then I remember having another inmate tell me, I'm getting out soon, I can find out where you live.
Nice.
Yeah. So after about 15 months or so, I was like, it's time to go. Yeah. And that was a faith walk, because I didn't have a job to go to, but I was like, I think it's time to go.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
anywho,
wow.
yeah.
Well,
but that was an adventure. It really is a different world to
Did you
to
see
live in
God's intervention many times?
Well, that was when God was intervening in my own life.
Yeah.
I went in very ill, very sick, and very much in the grips of addiction. Mm-hmm. And, I was getting off of all the stuff that I've been on. So I was on the journey, but I went into which is a great metaphor, because I went into the prison not knowing Jesus. But it was while I was working there that I got saved and had a total transformation.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously God sustained me through that time that I was there, and I was going through major transformation.
Yeah.
Then it was time to just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So crazy.
I think the most dangerous job that I had was climbing towers.
Yes.
Climb 200 and 300 feet up in the air on a small tower to change antennas that are 30 feet long, pull up large coaxial cables for Motorola stuff and for the military.
Let me say, he was doing this when we first got married, and I never went to watch him do this.
Right.
Just prayed that he wouldn't be okay.
I loved climbing towers.
Yeah.
It was a great job. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, were you ever frightened?
All the time. You have a healthy fear of being up that high, because if you mess up, if your equipment fails, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. So.
And did sometimes you have large unexpected gusts of wind?
Oh yeah. So I would be up 200-300 feet in the air, something like that. And the antenna would start moving in a circle. So you just boom, boom, and because it would catch on the cables, and it would just swirl. And so you look down, and everybody looks like ants, So, and it just took you like an hour, to get up there. About an hour. It's probably maybe more, maybe less. I can't remember, but
wow.
I would get up there, my legs would start shaking, and I'd have to rest and just lean back on and trust my harness, So,
and did you pray a little bit?
I prayed a lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
whole lot. But you know what? Nobody bothers you up there.
That's true. I'm sure it was peaceful.
Well, it was. The worst ones were on top of water towers, putting antennas on top of water towers, climbing up on those things.
Because the type where you have to go around?
Yeah. So you go up, and you kind of, some of them would come out and around, and you have to climb up, and you're like 100 feet, 150 feet, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of heights. Not in that capacity.
I enjoyed it. Some people couldn't handle it. I could stand up on top of those water towers and work and do the things I need to do, but
yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing it now. I mean, there ain't no way.
Well, you wouldn't be able to right now.
I can't.
Physically.
Yeah.
But, scary. I had a scary encounter or scary situation with heights when I don't know if I was maybe 8, 9, or 10 years old. And it was the only time I had ever, as a child, gone to a water park. So we had some relatives in Louisville, and they took us to this big water park. So there was a type of like slide, but there was something you sat on. It wasn't like modern water parks now. So there was some kind of like almost like a sled type of thing, and you sit on it. And so the person in front of me, went, and the person who's like kind of running the thing was just kind of talking to somebody or looking the other way. And I was such an insecure kid, and I thought, am I supposed to just push myself off this thing? Because I thought, are they going to get mad? Is somebody behind me going to get mad because I'm just sitting here? So I start like almost pushing myself off of it. And the guy was like, no.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I could just push myself like off to a big, a deadly drop probably. And then I understood, okay, he's going to like push me up there and then like push a button and the thing will like actually drop me down properly. I was about to just go off of it.
Oh,
I mean, that could have been deadly. It still scares me to think about that. So, God was watching over us.
Absolutely.
And, to this day, all my family would, my mom always told me through the years that, I was a little bitty toddler, not toddler, like a baby. And somehow I'd be in my crib, and then she came in and I was like on the floor just laughing.
Acrobatic.
Like, how in the world? She couldn't ever figure out how I got down there. So I don't know. Did I fly? Did I jump? Did I crawl?
Right.
Did the angels lift me up and just sit me down? I don't know.
Lift me up. No, so there's a lot of things that God does to protect us. And we go through different experiences. And leave some comments. Tell us your story.
Yeah, we want to hear.
Subscribe and like this, like what we're doing. But God will protect us in our journey. Mm-hmm. And there are things we have to experience in life, and we can't be afraid to do it. I think that's the gist of why we told these stories is there is a journey. And if we hold on to fear and all of that, fear will lead to regret, and fear will stop you from God's blessing on your life. And fear will stop you from doing the things that God's called you to do. And so let's be fearless and do dangerous things carefully.
Let's do some adventurous things.
Adventurous things carefully.
Yeah.
Right?
Knowing that we're going with the Lord, asking the Holy Spirit to go with us and trusting in what Psalm 91 has to say.
I enjoyed this topic.
I liked it too. We'll probably think of even more things later as the night progresses. But like Lee said, we want to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
What are some of your stories? If you have a story about danger or about divine intervention, share it with us. And so other people will see it too.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
You want to call it?
Call it. What are we going to call it?
The end of...
Fin.
The fin. F-I-N. That's French. Yes, for finished, right?
Yeah, or the end.
Or the end.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Fin, huh?
Thank you guys for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yep. See you next time.
Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to our channel. Drop your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you prefer audio podcasts, please follow us on your favorite streaming platform.